Was not expected to have the floor, so thank you for giving me this opportunity. And I'm very happy to be here and to listen to all of you. I was talking to many of you yesterday, and I felt the frustration or the disappointment of some of you concerning the result of the European elections. But let me first begin by saying that I followed very closely what the Secretariat and ALDE Party did during the campaign. And let me, on behalf of Liberal International, congratulate them because they made an amazing job. Now, what happened in Europe, and especially for the European liberals, is not isolated. The world is worrying worldwide. We are witnessing such increase of populism, of extremism, and you cannot imagine how the world is changing if you look at the world from a European perspective. But if you put Europe inside the global framework, and if you look at our multilateral system, if you look what is the weight of Europe in the global geopolitical situation, you will see that you did well. You did well because there are only very few liberals and Democrats worldwide fighting and standing for our liberal values. Once in the Bureau, I said at the beginning of my mandate to the Bureau members, listen, I went to France, tried to convince the French to join Liberal International. They told me, if you change the word liberal, then we can come. Otherwise, nobody will vote for us because of this word, which means something which is related to non-social policies. Then I went to the Arab world and asked them to join Liberal International. And they said, no, liberals has a connotation related to ethic and religious and values, Islamic values. We cannot join until you change liberal values. Liberal word. I came back to the Bureau and asked them. And I remember Astrid told me, and thank you, Astrid, for that. She told me, listen, we are those who were fighting and standing for these liberal values, who lift out from poverty millions of people, who installed the rules of law and democracy in many countries. And we are those standing for freedom. And COVID-19 teach us what is the value of freedom. So definitely, we will not agree to change the word liberal. And thank you for this lesson. You are the 51 MEPs. I see hope. Not only in Europe, you are worried for Europe. Let me tell you, you should worry for the world. And you are those who can teach the world that still we have people with human values. This is what I'm saying. It's not about liberal values. This is about human values. See what is happening in the world. And worry about what will happen after the American elections. What will be the weight of Europe if Donald Trump is elected? How can you deal with the war in Ukraine if Donald Trump is elected? How can you deal with the Green Deal and the climate change if tomorrow Donald Trump is elected? So you have a responsibility. You have the responsibility to lead within Europe. And ALDE Party has a strong responsibility. Because when we look at you from the world perspective, the African perspective, the Latino American perspective, we are learning. You are an example of unity. You are an example. You built an amazing project, Europe. And this is something we are not able to do in the Arab world. We are not able to do in the African world, in Latino America, in Asia, You did something extraordinary, and today you have this responsibility. This is not the responsibility of the far right or the left wings. This is your responsibility, and you can only succeed if you are united, if trust is your principal guidance, and if you are solidaire. So what I wish you to be solidaire. I wish you to stay united. And I was inspired by the first speaker who said, I wish you to be like the mosquito. Let's disturb them. Let's be this silent force, this minority who will disturb and bring back the liberal values to the EU and European Parliament. I will conclude my speech with what was not prepared at all. I was only watching and listening to you by inviting you to our Congress. You are not isolated. Europe, and I always say that to Ilhan, and I hope the next leadership of ALDE Party will look out of the box. You are not isolated, and you need to know what is happening in the world, what liberals are doing in the world, and to connect and to bridge to them. That may strengthen you. So please be our guest in Chile. This is a very exotic destination, and we are working very hard to increase liberals there and liberalism there. We are now recruiting more than 10 liberals parties in Latin America, and our bureau was inspired by your values and your manifesto to write and to work together with the Latin American friends to make their own manifesto. So today we have in Asia, we have in Latin America, in Africa, liberal manifesto inspired by you. Continue your job, and I wish you success. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, President Haité, dear Hakima. The bonds between Liberal International and ALDE Party are stronger than ever. That concludes our meeting. I wish you well. Have a wonderful journey.